You were mentioning earlier that you wanted to bring up something.
It's a long format that we're filming, and it's just being broken up into segments.
Excuse me.
Okay, so anyways, it is a good at least hour that we're sitting here filming, and it's just being broken up. We are planning on uploading the full podcast, for lack of a better word, audio only on something like iTunes or one of those type of
We just need to figure out
sites.
We just need to figure out how to do it. That's all. It's a matter of figuring it
for
out.
the people who want to just drive, listen while they're driving or whatnot. We're talking about uploading the full thing with video to probably Patreon.
Yes. So, and actually, now that you said that, the entire about an hour and a half uncut episode 1, or actually maybe this should be episode 1 and the pilot episode episode 0. I'm saying episode 0.
Well, episode pilot is called
See what
pilot
you're saying.
in the industry.
Well, no, I mean,
In the industry, it's called pilot.
Actually, oftentimes the pilot is just sent to the studio and be like, "This is what you want, guys, right?" And they're like, "Yes or no," and then it goes into okay, we're gonna order a season. So oftentimes that pilot isn't episode 1 actually.
No, right. It's called the pilot. It's not called episode 0.
Okay. Well, anyway, pilot is. So we'll call this episode 1 or whatever. But yes, so on Patreon it is actually the full hour and a half is up on there, and for channel members. So if you're a channel member as well, just look on the community page and you'll find it. But yeah, that's what we're going to be doing.
What might be a good idea is if we give them the option to maybe ask a question or two, and we pick a question or two.
That's actually a really
Something
good
plug
idea.
it into.
Insert in the next episode.
It's always something.
Always on your phone.
Always something.
Always on your phone.
I was asked to get on my phone.
You were on your phone before.
Yeah, but you were on your phone. That's why the battery's dead.
That's what I mean. Always texting. Oh, gotta talk to this person.
Oh, gotta see what the person's gonna say so I can text them back.
How many people are in a constant texting state?
It's ridiculous with this guy.
Like every day?
Every day, like how many?
He doesn't.
Not text, but how many?
While we're filming.
Not texts, but how many people are you averaging texting back and forth a day?
There was a Game Chasers or a Toy Chasers where he's in the background sitting there on his phone in my interview footage.
Yeah, I did that on purpose.
Yeah.
But the answer to your question is 1.
So that one person you're texting all day, you have to run out of things to talk about.
No, I don't.
So speaking of, what's your favorite episodes that we've ever done?
Oh, that's a weird transition, but let's do it.
Well, there was a comment that said, talk about episodes.
Yeah, the last one. I like the one where Eric failed at eating the heart attack burger.
That was a good one in Vegas. That was a good one.
That was one of the few trips you went on.
It's
It's really weird
No,
imagining you going on a trip.
I went to a lot.
I know, but it's been so.
I went to Canada a couple of times. I went to MagFest a couple of times.
You know what's really messed up?
I went to Norway a couple of times.
What's really messed up is realizing how old some of these episodes are, where they don't feel like it. Like I was watching one last night, episode 50. Well, so
Don't say numbers. I don't know what.
so I'm about to explain it to you.
Okay.
Where Chris gets the Sega CD.
Hey, oh God.
That episode's 8 years old.
Yeah, that was crazy. I was watching your stream last night, and that's
Wow,
crazy
that
to
is
me.
crazy.
8 years
Crazy.
old. If you had said, "Hey, how old is that episode?" Off the top of my head, I probably would have said like 5.
Yeah. Time flies, I guess, right?
I like that. I know that's one of those fan favorites, and so is Under the Bridge. As mad as I was at Chris in the moment, it is a really good episode, and it's when we're at
Electronic discount.
Electronic discount. They're closing, so they've been discounting. And guys, mind you, this place is like 6 minutes away from me, so I'm going up here like every other day, and I'm seeing if they're discounting, Excuse me, because originally they had this thing at
we would go there all the time, even before they were closing. Like,
Right,
all
no,
the time.
right,
Well,
right.
We never filmed there, but we were
we would go
going
there all the time.
all the damn time.
They were fairly reasonably priced. Yes,
Because they were always. I was talking about that last night, but that's the type of store where it's huge, you have all these different electronics that's been just sitting, who knows, God knows where, for the longest time.
Yeah.
It's just, they put it out on the shelf, and that's the type of place where you're going to run into something that you've never seen, that you didn't even know existed, or never knew you wanted. You can find some of that stuff on eBay, but you'd have to know beforehand, hey, I'm looking for this particular thing, put it out on eBay, search on eBay for it, and maybe find it. That's the type of store where it's like, it's just like an adventure going through it and just seeing what you're going to come across.
Good word, adventure.
And that is, it sucks. That's like, literally of all the stores outside of probably Game Room Trading Post, obviously, that's probably the store that's closed down that I'm most disappointed, because that store was just, there was nothing else like it around.
Yeah.
And there is nothing else like it around, at least not in this area.
They were heavy on PC stuff, like PC games and PC
Yeah.
consoles and stuff. Less PC consoles, you know what I mean? Hang on. Actually, you know what I mean? Which a lot of people don't carry that kind of stuff. Like Macs and Mac 2s and Apple 2s and Apple 69s and like all that stuff. And you don't see that stuff in gaming stores.
Well, just like little, just stuff that you would have, like electronics that would just be kind of, just household items and things that we'd have, like maybe like in the 80s and 90s, especially the 90s, just household items.
Yeah.
That just like, wow, that's in the package, and that's something that's been in the package probably like 20, 30 years, and there's like a whole crate full of them.
Right. I should have bought that Bruce Lee statue.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it. Anyways, I really do. I'm not going to say.
Did they end up not marking that down?
Well, this is what I was saying.
Because
is
that was cool, man.
This is what I wish I would have wound
That's
up
where you
with
guys
that.
get that box of Atari games that you didn't know anything about, right?
They were
A Coleco.
Coleco. They were Coleco.
But yeah.
Oh, I thought they were trade
Which, you know
games.
what? I went to a con in.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Ass.
So this place was not far from me, and again, me and Billy had gone there lots of times, and I knew they were going out of business. And like any place going out of business, you start with the 25% off, then you start with 50% off, then you go to 75% off, and in some cases they even go more than that, 80, 85% off and whatnot. And the Sega CD case, again, while I like this episode, I really like this episode. I'm not saying it's one of my favorites, but I really like the episode because of the drama, which was real.
Yeah, nothing was being played up.
Because Chris was being an antagonizing son of a bitch to me the entire day, and I was legit pissed. I was actually mad at him, and if we weren't friends, I might have actually got physically violent with the guy. That's how pissed off I was in this moment, because he's just rubbing it in. He's just rubbing it in, and I've been. For weeks, I've been going to the store and watching the discounts and watching the markdowns and all that stuff. And I was gonna, because I think this thing was originally at like 100 or 200, 225, 250, something like that, maybe $200. And we had gotten to a point where it was $100, which even at the time, not a bad price, especially since you got the Sega CD with it. But I was just gonna wait till they went to that like 60%, 75%, swoop in, get the thing, right off into the sunset, right? For whatever reason, you decided you wanted your stupid cousin there, and most likely because we needed a cameraman and he was available. Granted. But Chris started collecting at this point, and he decided he wanted old stuff too. And he saw this and decided that $100 was enough for him to want to pay for it. I wasn't there. I didn't want to pay $100. So he swooped in and he took it. And yes, the drama was real. Chris was being a prick. He was being antagonistic. He was just rubbing everything in my freaking face. Even after he got it, after he claimed it, he just kept on and on and on and on and just hammering me and hammering me and hammering me. I really wanted to punch him in his stupid face.
How much does it cost now? How much does it go for now?
Oh, way more than that. Sega CD case. I mean, the case alone, you could probably go 2+ on it.
Looks like you got caught slipping.
I mean, I ultimately wound up with it. Actually, the funny thing is, I actually wound up getting it cheaper. So who got caught slipping, me or Chris? Because Chris paid $100 for it, and he gave me the entire thing for a bottle of Tuaca liquor. which cost me, I don't know, maybe $35, $40 or something. I still owe him pineapple juice. So who got caught slipping
Well,
there?
you still owe him TMT4 because you never gave him that.
Well, no, that wasn't in the deal.
Yeah, it was.
It was not.
Absolutely was.
There's footage of that.
I edit the videos.
Oh, looks like you've been underhanded.
Hey,
you
but wait a minute.
shady man.
If he didn't get that TMNT4, guess what? Got caught slipping. Just saying.
Man.
All that to say, my favorite episode ever is and you know what, I really like the PAX episodes. I really love how you edited
I don't
those.
like those. I hate them.
I love them though.
I like the prank. I like the burp story, and I like the prank on Pat's story. But other than that, it's so boring.
Well,
I just recently had to re-edit those for the Blu-ray, for season 1 Blu-ray, and I just sat there through it. And I was so bored because we're just talking about like the PAX floor and all the latest, newest games. It's so boring. It sucks.
Let me tell you why I like it though. The first big convention that we'd ever gone to, 2011, and this was let's see, the show started in March 2011.
I don't know. Oh well.
Yeah,
oh,
this show, our
yeah,
show,
yeah,
yes. So March 2011, 6 months later, we're in freaking Seattle, Washington, at literally probably the biggest like gaming convention in the country at this point. Maybe E3 was bigger, but is that really a gaming convention? No. Anyhow, PAX West, PAX Prime.
PAX Prime.
It's called PAX Prime at the time. Now it's PAX West because they got a couple of. Anyways, just going to that, experiencing a convention that big, experiencing, shit. I played Tekken X Street Fighter there, which never came to fruition, or maybe it was Street Fighter X Tekken because they're supposed to do crossover. Capcom and Namco are supposed to do a crossover with their respective fighting franchises. We got the Street Fighter X Tekken. We never got the Tekken X Street Fighter. Anyways, the people we met there. We met Metal Jesus there.
It's the first time I met Metal Jesus. First time I met Pat. First
Johnny
time
Millennium.
I met Ryan right now.
Ryan, yeah.
But you know what's funny? Ryan right now just dropped off the face of the earth. You know, I was streaming a few nights ago. He just randomly pops in.
Really?
Yeah. He's like,
Interesting.
remember me? I'm Ryan right now.
Yeah, of
And
course
I'm
we
like-
remember Ryan right now.
I go, I remember you. You're Ryan right now.
We met Rob and Josh, Retro Hunters, that weekend. We met
Johnny Millennium.
Is that
Johnny
when you
Millennium,
guys got
Rob
the
Man,
Star Wars,
Pat,
that box of
Pete.
Star Wars stuff?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we went
Pete
to
Dorr.
we went to the some flea market or whatever, and this dude was selling a bunch of I got Star Wars.
So that's the only thing I remember from those episodes.
You said you liked that episode though.
No, the MagFest ones I like.
You always say PAX though. I think you're getting them
No.
confused. You always say PAX. I
No,
think-
He never
no.
went to PAX, though.
I never.
No, I know that. Well, I'm just saying like his favorite episodes.
I don't even remember. All I remember is
You always say PAX. You say you probably mean MagFest and you probably mean MagFest, but you always say PAX and it always throws me off. It's like, why do you like the PAX ones? But yes, I can understand why you like the MagFest ones. You were there. It has a bunch of different.
Pixel Dan was.
people
Dude, we
in
met
it.
so many. Dude, those were so fun. Those were some special. Couple of years at that convention.
No, you're right, but this is what I'm saying. Like, this is why PAX Prime was so like special to me, and this is why I really like. I'm not saying the PAX episodes are my favorite. I'm going to get to that in a minute, but we met AVGN for the first time there. Met Angry Joe for the first time.
I was a
there.
nervous wreck.
Met
Like I don't get. I like legitimately. I don't get starstruck.
Yeah, you do.
I don't.
No,
Like,
he doesn't.
I really don't.
He
I was
doesn't.
cruising, you sat there like a bumbling
Well,
fool.
yeah,
you couldn't
because-
even say anything. So don't tell me that.
I rarely. Okay. Let me rephrase it. I rarely get starstruck. I was an extra on a what's this freaking show? This show that was shot in Dallas or whatever, and I was sitting next to Colin Hanks just chilling.
Good guys.
No, Good Guys was another one.
It was the cop show with Colin Hanks. He was like the young up and
Oh
coming
no, that
guy.
was Good Guys. Wasn't
It was Good
Yeah.
Guys.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was Good Guys. I was an extra there, and I was hanging out with, not hanging out, but there with Colin Hanks. Nothing. Like I think I could get two craps. I didn't care. But
We've
but
technically eaten dinner with well, no, you weren't at that one, but I've technically eaten dinner with Lou Diamond Phillips and Vern Troyer, and it was like whatever, you know what I mean? I say technically we were in the same restaurant,
Same restaurant.
but it was whatever. It was
I'm glad
whatever.
you said that because I was about to call you out.
Yeah, no, okay, of course.
But I honestly I was honestly nervous. around AVGN. Like I was like, oh, what do I say to this guy? And it's the weirdest thing because it's like, why?
Well, here's the funny thing is like.
No, I don't give a shit. Like, no, I like James. Like, he's a cool guy.
No, right, but it's
like,
well, our relationship now with him is completely
Yeah.
different than 2011, 6 months after we started the show. And I wasn't
yeah, no, he's a
nervous.
great guy.
I wasn't nervous meeting James. You know when I got nervous? When we called him about the Cheetah Man project. We were actually going to talk to him on the phone.
yeah.
For whatever reason, like I met him in person. Cool. But for whatever reason, like having his phone number.
Yeah.
Calling the guy from my cell phone, I was like,
What's
holy
funny,
shit, I'm kind of nervous about this.
funny, I was watching, I guess because I was watching this guy years before we started the channel, even buying his DVDs. I didn't buy his DVDs, I just stole his.
Facts.
But
We were fans of AVGN
yeah,
before all this.
Yeah,
yes.
and so I was genuinely nervous. Like I say, I wouldn't get starstruck. I usually don't get starstruck, but there was a few people like if they walked in this room right now, like Arnold Schwarzenegger walked in this room right now, I'd probably be a little starstruck.
Shut the fuck up, this guy.
But yeah, I was absolutely with that PAX because Ryan came up to us and he was like, "Hey, do you want to be in an episode of Board James?" And I was like, "What's that? What's
we
that?"
were an episode of Board James, actually.
Yeah,
yes.
what's that?
Loop and Louie.
What's that meme of? Was that Jonah Hill or whatever? He's like,
Yeah.
That's what I look like.
And speaking of Ryan, Ryan, we met Ryan from Screenwave Media before there was a Screenwave Media, actually. May not be important to people watching, but important to us. So that's why the PAX episodes are so special to me, and it wasn't necessarily like the video that came out of it, and it was, don't get me wrong, but it was everything in the experiences involved with us being at PAX. I really love that you took that Full House theme and put that at the beginning and changed things up. Like I loved that. And that was the first time you did something like that.
I actually did. I did like that. I like that I did that. The only problem is that episode's been demonetized since like 2012.
Sure, but still,
But
it
it's
was
fun.
something different. It was something new, and again,
liked
we
it,
met
yeah.
all these YouTubers that like. Honestly, a lot of these people would be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so jealous," right?
Whatever happened to predictability? The milkman, the paperboy, the
Evening
I have to go
TV.
back and watch that because I that does sound vaguely familiar.
And that was the first time that
yeah.
you had changed up the intro, and the only other thing that sticks out is the Norway episodes. Like we did this whole troll
the
goblin
Norway
skit
ones
with
are
that.
some
That
of
was
my
it was
favorites.
fun. It was fun.
You like that? Well, the Norway one. The world's only one Norway one though. There's only one. Is that? Well, that wasn't a.
There was one, but me and you went twice. He didn't
went
go the
twice.
second year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we
Well,
filmed a
you
lot of
filmed.
stuff.
You filmed.
We did.
You were
Dude,
you were supposed to make an episode
Hey.
out of it. And you never
Did the Lake Selyord stuff ever come out?
No.
Chasing the Unknown, guys. Shameless plug. Go subscribe to Chasing the Unknown.
We went trying to investigate
Their version of Loch Ness Monster.
Reports of Lake Monster at
Yeah.
Lake Selyord.
Dude,
we
that was
actually
awesome.
went.
That was
Rented a car.
awesome. Dude, that
Got to
drive.
see the countryside in Norway. It was beautiful.
That drive. Whew.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
It was like freaking like waterfalls coming out of like the side of mountains and stuff. Like it was just crazy.
I like
Dude,
I like
you
the past
missed.
episode. I like the past. Excuse me, the
Norway episode.
The intro. I really like the intro. I just like that it's different. I think just the episode, just the fact that it's just different overall. I mean, it's just it's a change of. It's a
There's
change of
something
pace.
special that we had to do something unique for the intro.
By the way, you did a good job being a troll on that one. So apparently, like, underbridge trolls, not like troll, like, underbridge trolls are like a thing in Norway.
What's this?
Troll dolls.
That's the gnome cat.
That's what I was thinking. I thought you were doing David the Gnome right there.
I hate that show. I wouldn't do that. I hate David the Gnome.
David Gnome is badass, dude.
Yeah. You and Dodongo think that.
No, it's great.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about the hair, the
hair, yeah, the
funny
troll
hair
hair,
from
yeah.
Dolls. Okay.
Troll. I said trolls. I did this.
Yeah. I was thinking David the Gnome, but
Okay, maybe it was more this. You're right. But, well, it went to a point anyways.
So my favorite episode is when we went to Philly and scared the hell out of Eric in the basement.
is that the one where you injured yourself?
No.
I was injured
the
that
steps
time.
of Rocky?
No, I was injured that time. That was the next year after he injured himself. I kicked the door down to save some burning children. I had a hairline fracture in my foot, so I wound up on on crutches.
You know, I never made it to any of those East Coast conventions.
Yeah, you did.
Nope.
What's he telling me? You think Washington D.C. is?
Washington,
other
D.C.'s
than
East
MagFest,
Coast.
I'm talking about like the Philadelphia and all the ones that you guys go to over in that.
Too many games.
Yeah.
Too many games. Too many games.
Yeah.
Great convention, guys. If you guys are in the
Retro
Philadelphia
Worlds.
area, Retro World Expo, great convention, guys. Which
Yeah,
Retro
I
World
never made it to any
Expo.
of those.
Owners of that own a new convention. We'll get into that in a minute because I've not said my favorite episode. My favorite episode is.
Well, I haven't said why.
Oh yeah, go. My bad.
Okay, so
Camera
We're
hawk.
done with you. We're done.
So, just the fact that Eric was legitimately scared. Like, I know everyone's probably like, oh, he was just playing up for the camera.
No.
He was legitimately scared in that basement. And somehow, I don't understand why. Like, how could you possibly think that there was a ghost down there trying to get us? But he thought that. He thought that day. He's a pussy.
Wasn't he getting kind of freaked out when we were over at Mike Dodd's place and
Yeah.
they were talking
Yes,
about like shadow people?
they were talking
and
about
stuff?
shadow
Like-
people.
Like he started getting freaked out.
Listen, there was a long stretch of time where he would not sleep in my apartment because he saw a shadow person there one time.
Well, yeah, but to be fair, he actually did see a shadow.
No, I know he did because I have a history
why
of
would
shadow people in my apartments. I do.
It's true, by the way. This isn't like
No, this ain't no BS. Like legit, he saw a shadow person in my apartment and he was like, "I'm never sleeping here again."
How do you know it's not him
because other
attracting
people
shadow?
saw.
Oh, really?
Because it's been other
Well, it
people.
could be him.
I remember.
It could be him attracting it. Hang on.
You.
Well, yeah, okay. I guess it could be
The common
me.
denominator is you.
That's fair.
Other people have seen shadow
Yes.
people in your place.
Multiple different places. Yes.
His
Man, shadow people stupid.
I
then, if they're
saw-
hanging
I
around
saw-
with this fool.
his
not
ex,
hanging around.
His ex went into she got up in the middle of the night, and in the kitchen she saw the Hat Man.
Yeah.
With like another little thing, like
Yeah.
A miniature
like the Hat Man. The Hat Man is a thing that people see.
No, the Hat Man
which
is like the ultimate shadow person.
Yeah.
Like he's evil.
and like she and correct me if I'm wrong. It's not like she like looks up this
just
stuff. and,
lurking in your kitchen
Like, just
in the middle of the night.
well, they definitely weren't cooking.
Dude, listen.
There's no food there.
Listen.
So what was he doing?
There's been people around me in my life who have seen things like that prior to me, and have seen those things while around me, and there's been people in my life who absolutely don't believe in that kind of shit and will think of any reasoning as to why it's not that kind of stuff, and they've seen that kind of stuff. And then there's Eric who absolutely believes.
Eric, come sleep in your place.
Dude, it was years. Like it was years before he would sleep in my place
No,
again.
but I remember like
I
when
remember
he was
remember
going,
Eric talking about.
he was going to come up to a convention, and I believe this was the year after that, and he was like, "I'm not sleeping in Jay's. I'm sleeping at your house.
Yeah.
You better have a room."
Yeah.
He wasn't going to sleep.
No, he was.
He
Yeah,
thought he was
no.
going to be attacked by a shadow person.
No, he did. Dude, dude, do you remember it was, I forget what year it was, but we stayed at Jordan's before going to too many games.
I remember this. Yeah.
Okay, we
remember
stayed
you
in his
guys
media
talking
room
about that.
and I saw a shadow person that night, and I don't freak out about that kind of stuff. But I was so tired. I was just like,
Screw it.
oh, please don't like do something to me while I'm
Did Jordan
sleeping.
see it?
No.
Yeah, but here's
No.
the thing. After he told Jordan goes, "Oh yeah, there's something down here. I see him all the
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so it wasn't you bringing shadow people to his.
No, no,
No.
no.
And
No.
what's funny is
Well, I'm not the end all be all when it comes to shadow people.
Well, you're the common denominator.
Common denominator.
apparently.
With
but-
people
but-
around me,
yeah.
sure.
But here's the thing, like, because Jordan wasn't like, oh, when we went to the basement, was like, oh yeah, beware the ghost.
Yeah,
Beware
no,
the
no,
shadow
he
person.
wasn't like that. The next
Then
morning.
we had an incident.
Yeah, the next
we had
morning.
An incident, and then he brought up, he was like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's. I think he even had a name for it. Or whatever.
Yeah, something like I was.
Fred,
I remember
Fred
I
or
was like,
something.
dude, I saw a shadow person last night. I was like, but I was white. Guys, you gotta understand. When we go on these road trips, I do all the driving, and it's by choice, mind you. If I ever need to get tired, I do trust Billy to drive. But that's just something I'm really good at, just driving like long distances. Right? I think I should have been a truck driver in a past life. So when we get where we're going, like I'm white. Large March sent you, right? I'm white, and I was so freaking tired. And I remember like, for whatever reason, I opened my eyes. I see, and it's dark in this room, and I see a shadowy figure in this dark room, and I was like,
Was it hovering over you?
no, not hovering over me, not hovering over me.
It was hovering over Eric because Eric I know if he was here, he would tell you. But he said that apparently it was so close to Eric. Eric thought it was me hovering over him.
Yeah, so that's the thing is me and Eric both saw. I forgot about that. Me and Eric both saw it.
Eric saw it, thought that I was over him trying to scare him, and apparently he swung. He swung like this.
He's trying to hit you.
Thinking it was me.
So when the next day when he realized what happened, like,
but we were
like, what was?
See, that's what I know, and I wish he was here to tell a story. I don't know.
I wish he was here
I don't
too.
know if he immediately realized. I don't know if like he took a swing and like his arm went through it and he immediately know. Oh shit. or in the morning
that night.
I don't know. I don't remember if he realized it that night or in the morning. He was like, "Were you?" I vaguely remember him.
I think in the morning he was like, "Why were you standing over me?" And you were like, "What?"
Unless I'm sleepwalking.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be hovering over Eric.
Yeah, because I think he asked Billy, "Why were you standing over me last night?" And he was like, "I wasn't." And I was like, "Eric, I saw that too, shadow person." So,
hey, who was it? Was it you, or was it Jordan? Walking around with your cell phone in that hotel
that was not me. We were both in bed, the same bed, mind you.
they were both. They were, dude. It couldn't have been a phone. I know we were like, "Yo, turn the phone light." No, where that thing was, we're not gonna get into that yet. But back to Shadow People for a second. Me and Eric were doing a panel. It was Retropalooza, like I don't know, 4 or 5 or something like that. And I saw something walk behind us. And I stopped mid-sentence and I turned around and I looked and I thought it might have been, Jose, he's my AV guy. But he was over here sitting at the table, right? With the mixer and all that. And I was like, and Eric's like, "You okay?" And I was like, "Nah, I thought I saw someone walk behind me." Excuse me. And he's like, "Oh, okay." And we go on answering, Q&A and whatnot. Excuse me. And not 2 minutes later, we both see something that looks like it's walking behind us. And we both stop and we look and we're like, "Did you see that?" And he's like, "Yeah, I saw that."
That doesn't make any sense because the audience is looking towards you.
Hang on though. I know. And Eric was like, "I saw it that time." And I said, "You saw it that time?" He goes, "Yeah," because he didn't see the first time. And I asked the audience, I go, "Did you guys see something walk behind us?" And they were like, "No." Me and Eric did.
Did you review the tape afterwards?
Dude.
You didn't even review the tape.
No, because I know Jose records all that. So no.
You just see this.
So all this leads to answering the question, what's my favorite episode? Episode 1. And not that I think it's better than any episode, it's that it actually happened. And I've said this before. I've said this on panels like ad nauseum. We've always had these ideas. Hey, let's do this. Hey, let's do custody wars. Perfect example, right? Never. We've always had these ideas, and it's never come to fruition. And I remember me and Billy were sitting around watching an American Pickers marathon, and during commercial break, Billy just casually looks over at me. He goes, "Hey, let's do this, but with video games." And this was something.
That's exactly what it looked like. By the way.
No, right.
Just to say it again.
Hey, let's do this, but with video games. Not bad. I like that. You gotta zoom in tight on that. So this was something that me and Billy were already doing. We were already going out to flea markets, already going to thrift stores. We were already looking for video games at the time. So Billy was like, "Hey, let's record us doing this same thing they're doing, but with video games instead of random junk." And my response, I go, "Okay." He goes, "No, I'm serious. I'll go get a camera. I'll edit it up." And, I know his professional background in videography and editing and whatnot. I was like...
Actually, we have the camera. Tim.
Yeah, Tim, grab that camera. Oh, wow. That's hilarious.
So this is
right
the...
here?
Yeah.
All right. This is the camera. It was spring. So we did our taxes. I had a little tax return,
I was a young girl.
I was right before my transition, right?
Sorry. My bad. Go ahead.
Tax return. I was like, you know what? Let's just get a camera. But this is the actual camera. This is the camera that we shot episode 1 and 2. Episode 1 and 2. Seasons 1 and 2.
Seasons
and then around
1
3,
and 2.
we got a little bit of an upgrade. But yeah, look at it. It's seen better days. But this is the camera. This little handheld thing, which I will say is a little bit more convenient when going into a flea market because you can conceal this a lot more than
Yeah.
a big honking thing. So, yeah.
So Billy was like, "No, I'm serious. I'll get a camera. I'll do the editing. We're just gonna record what we're already doing." And again, my reaction was like, "Okay." And it's one of those things. Again, we've had so many ideas. Like, I'll believe it when I see it, kind of thing. And then all of a sudden, Billy's like, "Hey, what are you doing Saturday?" I'm like, "Nothing." He goes, "Okay, I got the camera. I found this guy on Craigslist, and this is where Video Game Mike comes into the story, right? Episode 1. He was like, we're gonna meet this guy, at this place, and we're gonna try to buy some video games off him, blah 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 blah." And I was like, "Oh, okay, like this is happening. This is gonna be a thing." So episode 1 is my favorite because it was an idea that we talked about that we actually executed.
I
So
can't watch episode 1 anymore.
Why? Sucks.
It's the first one. We're still trying to find our groove. It's kind of painful to watch.
Well, what's your favorite episode then?
Not episode 1.
Okay.
My favorite, I'd have to say, is the Under the Bridge one.
I got a piss. I'm sorry. You continue on. Continue on.
All right. You're gonna take episode the Under the Bridge one,
Yeah.
which is a good episode. I'm not saying it's not.
Yeah.
It's artful, it's tasteful, all that good shit. But it ain't our fault that motherfucker can't do nothing with music. Straight the up, But
Hold on. What's that have to do with the episode, though?
it has everything because he thought he could be someone. He thought it was gonna be the next whatever. Episode 1 is the start of this whole pivotal moment. That's what I said. Pivotal. Anyways, it's the start of this whole pivotal moment that has brought y'all 12 years now?
I don't know how long it's been. It's been a long time.
We'll just call it 15.
Okay.
It's like Billy the Kid. We'll call it 21. No, there's this whole pivotal moment of y'all doing what y'all do. And I'm sorry, you on that whole Norway trip. I'm so jealous of that.
You know who else is? Dongo.
No, of course he is.
Dongo's not happy
No,
with that. Oh, you know who else is?
Huh.
Eric.
Yeah?
Eric wanted to go bad. Yeah.
Dude.
I don't blame you guys though, man, because that was special, dude. I couldn't.
Yeah?
No. So Under the Bridge, I thought it started out really fun. Everybody's having fun. Billy's trying to get discounts by. What was it that you were doing? You were doing something with you were doing your Fonzie or something, or what was it? I forgot.
I bought a Fonzie game.
The board game. You tried to do like an impersonation or something to get a discount.
And it went swimmingly well.
It was fun. We had a couple of decent finds and stuff, and the fact that it took that really emotional turn towards the end was unexpected, but it was a special thing in a Game Chasers episode when it's normally farts and burps and stuff. To do something that is a little more profound, I thought was special, and Billy did a really, really nice job at editing that, piecing it together, because it really did feel like a documentary at that point.
Because again, I like it when I have different things that I can do in episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe switch things up. Try something different, do different types of things, and so that was something new that I thought was interesting.
Yeah,
That documentary kind of feel near the end. I thought it was cool, and just the whole. But that's the thing when it comes to editing an episode. Oftentimes it is kind of like even though it's not scripted, there is some sort of a narrative that goes through the entire thing, and that stuff near the end wouldn't have hit nearly as well if the things prior, like that lady yelling at him for drinking in the parking lot, had not happened. Because that kind of it's funny how it works out, right? So even those things kind of set up this alcoholic, kind of going on this.
He couldn't even stop drinking in the morning, like he had to get that last gulp in. Ridiculous.
Hey guys, I want to jump in real quick and just say, honestly, that's one of my least favorite episodes.
Interesting.
But you did a fantastic job editing it, Billy. But I'm not going to get into it, but that's actually one of my least favorite episodes.
We talked about alcoholism before.
Because he wasn't in it.
He wasn't in it. You know what? That actually might be one of the reasons why I like it a little more. Hashtag no J.
Hashtag the man knows. The man knows. Oh, shit.
So, okay, now that you're here, you
Yes,
just
sir.
appeared out of nowhere. I don't even know who you
Who is this guy?
I'm a ghost.
are.
I'm a shadow person.
You're a shadow person. You're the shadow person that's been hanging out in his apartment.
Yeah, where's my hat at?
What's your favorite episode? When you're in, don't be generic.
No. Can I speak? I mean, I was
The one episode.
the one.
I mean, what?
That's my impression of both of y'all right now.
What deals do you want to find? That's the question.
That's what I said. No, I think one of my favorite episodes is and don't get me wrong, I love y'all's show. For a long time, I was outcast by
You were banished?
by myself. I banished myself, you know. But I love y'all's show. Always have been a huge fan. But whenever Melvor and Dodongo went on their own and got video games and then left the video games.
That's a good one.
No, that is a good one. You're right.
I had fun editing that one. That was a fun one.
I see a theme here. So you guys' favorite episodes are the ones that we're not
Well, no. My favorite episode is when you guys look like asses, which is a
I'm
lot.
still pissed off about that. I'm still pissed off the fact that you found that. There's no reason that you guys should have found those rare games at the flea market at like 3:00 in the afternoon.
The whole thing was just you couldn't have planned a better day, and because that was the funny thing is we were like, we're gonna make a special episode where the script is reversed for one of the DVDs. And it's like, okay, so we'll probably have to go a few weekends to get enough material to cobble together an episode. And the fact that it just one day, boom, the whole thing was there. It was just, you couldn't have asked for anything better.
Yeah, and the fact that you effed it up by leaving the games and everything else.
Running at full speed.
Yeah, and Dodo's like, if this ain't there, I'm gonna mess you up. He ain't messing nothing up.
I know.
That's like the Backstreet Boys. Probably gonna start a fight, girl. No, you ain't gonna start nothing, bro. But a fucking fire in someone's pants.
That's insane.
Insane. Well, regardless, same thing. Anyways,
He was so mad. He was so mad.
regardless, guys, we gotta wrap it up. So
See you later.
We got 2.5 minutes.
turn out.
We had 2.5 minutes. now.
Let me wrap this up like I did when I banged your mom. No. Sorry. That was crass of me.
It's your mom.
That's my mom. Oh. Anyways,
Wait, whose mom?
Hold on a second. Like, he's just taking over now.
He just comes in out of nowhere. All right, guys, so we're going to wrap this up.
When
We're
I try wrapping it up, I get scolded.
Hey, no.
those kids don't know how to do it
the
right.
the fact of the matter is, we're running out of hard drive space. This is a very small drive. So sign up for Patreon so we can buy bigger drives. So anyway, yeah, we got 1 minute left. But anyway, minute 50. You're gonna need to stop it a little before there so it doesn't like make.
Did you forget what you were gonna say? Because you were on a roll there. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
You should be.
Did you
You killed the moment. Appreciate it.
did you hurt your hand? Fisting his mother.
No, I went to take a piss and I dropped my dick on it.
Dude, you need
Just-
to cut your nails.
You need to cut your face, dude. Well, I mean,
Look at his nails, dude. Look at his nails.
they're beautiful.
What the hell?
They're beautiful.
What is that?
That's something that every woman wants right there.
You do manual labor. How do you keep that maintained?
Don't know, dude. Have no idea.
How does that even work?
I'm not a
Close-up so they can
I'm not
see
a
that.
pussy. That's how we get that working,
He certainly has hell looks like it.
right? You got guys, right? You got guys and you got men. So I
Men
mean,
with manicured fingernails?
no manicuring.
They sure as hell looks like it.
I'm just saying, I'm a different breed, bro.
All right, guys, thank you. Episode 2 is in the wraps. See ya. Check us out on Patreon, channel members, all that good stuff. See the full edited version. We'll see you in the next one. I don't even know which camera. I'm looking at a camera that's facing the other way.
See you
Thank you,
later.
sirs.
See you later.